Welcome to another edition of Showtime with Coop. Insightful BS with my Laker teammates and NBA legends. And the reason the top half of my head is cut off, because I need you to see my throwback warm-up from the 80s, baby. I'm good and ready, and the Lakers is going to get it done tonight and going to win the championship. Now, there's the full Michael Cooper that you get right there. But again, I just had to show this because all you can see is just the top now. I'm fired up and ready. We're going to talk playoff basketball.
The Showtime podcast with Michael Cooper is brought to you by FanDuel, the exclusive wagering partner of the CLNS Media Network.
And then we'll get into later on, we'll say probably about a week or two, we'll get into the Lakers-Celtics rivalry, which I do believe is going to happen again this year.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you, Coop. I'm good. Celtics finally got past Atlanta, so that's a good thing. And now I've never really rooted for the Lakers as much as I am this year, Coop. I want it.
For the Lakers.
I want Lakers Celtics, man. Out west, I am rooting for the Lakers through and through. AD better bring his uniform every night. He's got to play. Man, I want to see it.
Nick, seriously, you know what? Okay, because see, you taking it personal now. Your feelings, I can tell your feelings are starting to get into it. But before we jump there, because we can end the subject with that, let's talk about what happened the other night to get to where we are today. Talk about the playoff format, okay? Let's start with the East first, which I think is the weakest it's ever been in the NBA playoffs. That's just from my perspective. But again, I'm taking it personal myself. Mm-hmm. Knicks beat the Cavs. Wow. I was really surprised by that. I thought the Cavs were suited and booted and ready to go. But again, they are out of the playoffs. The Knicks surprised me. I really like their team. They got a good, formidable team now. I think Julius Randle got an injury. Hopefully he'll get a little bit more rest before they start that series with the Celtics. Isn't that who they see first? No, they see the Heat.
No, they see the Heat,
first.
Yeah.
They see the
Buckets.
Heat first. But again, the Knicks beat them, got a good – you know what, Nick, this is – if you really think about basketball, and I spend a lot of time on my couch thinking about basketball, I have never seen or saw, however you want to say it grammatically, a team with three left-handers, Brunson, Barrett, and Randall, that are putting up the kind of numbers these guys are putting up. Think about it. Go back in the 60s. I've never seen. You had some teams with it. I think. What was it? Clyde Frazier, Earl of Pearl,
yeah.
Right-handed.
Was Havlicek
and who was it? Havlicek was right-handed.
Was he?
What was his name? That used to kick his feet when he shot for the Knicks. Left-handed.
Earl, DeBusschere, Bradley.
No, both right-handed. But then the Knicks had a left-handed guard that he used to kick his feet. He was left-handed. That's the only time I've seen a left-handed. But if you look through the NBA, I don't think you've ever seen three left-handed players on the same team that are doing the things that these guys are doing.
I don't think
Bronson
so.
Is left-handed. Barrett is left-handed. And Randall is left-handed. And they're giving it to everybody.
What does that mean, Coop? They're left-handed.
I know. But the reason I make that thing, I don't like left-handed players. I don't like left-handed players.
You got to force them to go right.
But again, they're proving me wrong. That's why I guess I'm bringing it up like that.
Was Doc a lefty?
No.
Dr. J couldn't go left. He was
a righty.
Crazy
that he couldn't go left. He didn't have to. He was dunking on everybody. Right. Yeah. Only one. Only other one I can think of, Gail Goodrich for the Lakers.
Gail Goodrich
was left-handed.
Was Collins?
Phil Jackson was left-handed.
Ooh, he made some comments this week.
Not a few, but you've never seen three on one team that putting up the numbers these guys have. Again, they're going against the Heat. I think, you know what? I was watching Jimmy Butler last week. It was a game that they lost, and I guess it was the first or second game they lost against the Bucks. And I was kind of like, you know what? He's done, man. He's.
I thought too.
This guy gets a mouth-to-mouth resuscitation from somebody, and come up and have probably not one of the best, but up there in the top.
A Jordan-like performance.
56 points, 20 in the first quarter, 21 in the second, and I think that the Miami is ready to go now. I think they're ready to go. I don't think they can put all their eggs in his basket, but you know what? You can put half of them in there, and Jimmy Butler carry. Again, they got a great team out of Bio, uh, out of Kyle
Hero.
Lowry. I think they got some people. It hurts that Hero is out. I think with his, but Strus has been playing well for them. So again, that's going to be a good series. What do you think about that?
Well coached. That like you're looking at Knicks, well coached, and Miami. Spoelstra has to be a top 10 all-time coach, Coop, right? I mean,
no, I would put him in the top 10.
I mean, really?
Top 10 all-time coach? No, he ain't there yet. Win a couple more championships.
All right, I got you there. All right, so, but he's still really well. They're very well coached.
Well, you know what? So people understand what we're talking about. Let's give out the top 5 coaches, okay?
I love this. Yeah.
The top 5 coaches would be
Go ahead.
Ed Auerbach, Bill Sharman. Would you add Bill Russell in there?
No.
I wouldn't. I would say Pat Riley.
Pat
Riley. What's the late great coach for the Detroit Pistons?
Chuck Daly.
Chuck Daly. 4. Lenny Wilkens. 5.
We got to go 10. Yeah, we got to keep going. There's more. Come on.
I know there's more, so that's why I don't know why you're saying
Phil Jackson.
This guy's a top 10 coach.
Well, Phil Jackson.
Who?
Phil Jackson.
6.
All right. I wouldn't say Casey Jones. I wouldn't say Tommy Heinsohn. How about Billy Cunningham? You'd say Tommy?
Casey? I would say Casey. I would say maybe. I got 7. I don't know what you're doing with 6.
Yeah, we got 7.
7. I would include Gene Shue. I think he was a great coach for the Washington
Dr.
team.
Jack Ramsey.
Jack Ramsey, for sure. So I'm at 9 now.
Yep,
so
9.
Nick, bite your tongue and bite it off. Talk about this guy, the top
Coop, 10. We're going to get killed. We don't have one modern era coach in here. Who's modern era? Not one.
Modern era.
I mean, you got to think past, I would say, 2000.
Pop.
Popovich. Popovich.
Yeah. So
there you go.
Again, I think we got him as 10, but he would move up that list. If you're going to say championships, but we're talking about winning, because sometimes you just don't get that team to win, but that doesn't make you a bad coach. So
like
again,
Sharman didn't win, did he?
Spoelstra is a good coach, but don't put him up in the top 10 because I ain't going for that.
I like that. I like to be corrected on history, especially in favor of history. I mean, you know that, man.
Well,
but anyway,
you know what, Nick? I have this young man that I'm going to bring on our next show, and he is his name is Joshua, and he is an NBA historian. A young kid. He's only like about 20. Josh might be 25, 26.
Someone young like this loves history. This is fantastic.
But this kid, man, wait till you meet him. This kid will tell you about. You ask him about anybody, and he'll start rattling off records, numbers, and things that they have done. He's going to be great. Our next show.
We'll do like a quiz show. So we'll rattle off questions and try and stump them and see if we can.
Nick, you can't stump this kid. This kid
I'm gonna
is
love
good,
him.
man.
He'll have a
show.
He'll end up having a show before the end of that show because I'm going to be like, if he knows history, if he knows history.
But anyway, we digress to the lowest form. Talking about the New York Knicks and the Miami Heat matchup coming. Who do you have winning that series?
Yeah, I mean, anytime Buckets is on the floor and he's not playing the Celtics, I'll take Miami. I mean, Miami's going to beat New York. Yeah, I'd love to see.
Miami what?
I think it goes 6.
Go 6?
Yeah. I would love to see it being an Eastern Conference guy. Boston has Philadelphia, and then the conference finals at MSG would be killer. And then to finish it off against the Lakers, hopefully, would be amazing. But I think it's going to be Miami again. And believe me, now the rest of the world knows why we shudder in Boston anytime anyone named Jimmy comes around, because Jimmy Butler is the modern Andrew Toney. He is the Boston Strangler. He's done it to us over and over. So we feel it. When I see them beat Milwaukee, Coop, oh my God. And then Giannis, what did you think of his comments after the game? Did you hear what he said?
I didn't hear what he said. I kind of saw. What did he say?
Well, he gets pissed off because they always ask him, and they did ask him, is this season a failure? losing in the first round, and he said no, and no season's a failure. You win, you lose. There's basically what he's saying is Jordan didn't win every year. So did he think every year was a failure? I'd say yeah, until he won.
I don't know what Giannis is talking about. Yeah, Michael Jordan. As the Lakers, Magic, we didn't win a championship. It was a failure.
86.
Okay?
Were you get there? 86. You were furious.
And especially when you got your ass kicked in the first round. I mean, the second round.
No, the first round.
First round, yeah. So you get exit the first. That's like when Houston beat us. We were supposed to beat them. That was a failure season.
But that was at least the conference finals.
Yeah, Giannis better get it together, man, and understand what this is about. You know what? I think this loss really hurts them for the future. I think management is evaluating that team because, again, that team, you got to look at that team. Milwaukee was built solely on his shoulders. But when he went out, there was no team. And that's why I say you have to build your team around your team, but you got to have your three-headed monsters in today's game. Back then when we played, it was probably two best players. Now it's three best players. And if you look at, talking about our two teams, Boston and Lakers, you had McHale, Bird, Parrish, but you had a Magic, Worthy, Kareem, but you had other individuals that if one of them went down, people were going to step up and do their job. Dennis Johnson, Danny Ainge, Wedman, all players like that. Cedric Maxwell, people that would come in. So, again, when Giannis went down, he's a big part of your team, but he shouldn't be the reason why you can't win. You should be able to be competitive, and especially if you got home court advantage against they're 8 seed, right?
Yeah,
Miami.
I mean, yes.
Seed. You're number 1 seed. So, again, but and that.
But hear this: if and the stats may be off a little bit. I'm going from memory. He missed 13. He was 10 for 23 from the line. Giannis. If he hit his free throws, he would have scored 53 points and grabbed 20 rebounds, something in that vicinity. And Middleton had 30 plus points. So everybody was shooting. They just couldn't stop Jimmy. And I think you're right. They're going to have to at least reboot that roster because they looked old.
That's what championship basketball does to you. Yeah. That's a lot of wear and tear on you. And, you're constantly fighting in every game during the regular season and championship. And it takes its toll on you. And, it's unfortunate that he did get hurt. Again, they talked about the way he got hurt, people taking charges now. That's part of the game. And I feel bad that he, hurt his back. But again, when you hurt your back, that affects all parts of your game because you can't get down and play defense, can't extend on your free throw shooting, you can't move and go the way you want to the basket. So again, but Coop, look at Milwaukee.
That's like a sporadic injury too. Like in other words, you could feel good for a quarter and then all of a sudden it starts. Yeah.
No, it's that kind of injury where when you're playing, you got to stay out there.
Yep.
And the coach knows if he takes you out of the game, that thing's going to stiffen up. So
that's why Bird used to lay on the sideline.
Yeah.
Because so he warm it up. Yeah. Okay. So who do you got?
Milwaukee, I got the Knicks. I got the Knicks in 7. Knicks in 7. I think that's going to be a very, very good series. I think it's going to be a very physical series. I think both teams, it's not about when you're playing. It's not about how well you're playing. It's when you're playing well. And both teams are playing extremely well right now. So you may get what you want. And that's the first one.
I think so. Look how mad you. Look how mad you are. Look how mad you are. I might get what I want there. Hey, listen, Celtics Knicks would be interesting. To me, it would be very interesting. But the Celtics will win. I mean, you're right. The East has gotten watered down tremendously. I mean, at the beginning of the year, it was formidable. And then everybody flew town. I mean, Kyrie left, Durant left, right? So now you're looking at and Embiid is injured. So,
Well, hold on. We're jumping ahead of ourselves.
I know. Too much coffee.
Grand slams, no-hitters, and double plays are back. And there's no better place to get in on the MLB action than FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook and official partner of Major League Baseball. And new customers in Mass can get in on the action with $200 in bonus bets, guaranteed when you place your first $5 bet. And sign up at FanDuel.com/Boston. Finally, you can bet on all your favorite sports, from the money line to point spreads to player props and more. So bet now on an app that's safe, secure, and super easy to use. Don't miss your chance to get $200 in bonus bets. Win or lose. Visit FanDuel.com/Boston and make every moment more. FanDuel, official partner of Major League Baseball. You must be 21 or older and present in Massachusetts to participate.
You listen to Showtime with Coop. I'm affectionately known as Silver Fox today because that's what I am. I have my beard going and stuff like that, so you can call me the Silver Fox. Our next series that we're going to talk about, the Celtics and the Sixers, and we're going to get what Nick wants because he loves talking about the C's. I don't know, I got a ugly word for them, but we'll call them the Celtics. The C's. Boston eliminates Atlanta last night. Sixers got rid of who was that? Brooklyn.
Fast, yeah, sweet.
Brooklyn fast, but at the cost of Embiid going down.
Mm-hmm.
Did an MRI on his knee. Comes to find out everything is okay. Mm-hmm. But again, that's a team that is not playing well. Go ahead, you can go, Nick.
Yeah, I mean, Philadelphia, whether they're playing well or not, doesn't really matter. It seems like Boston has their number. I'm not kidding. Like, it just seems like I think that the Sixers only won one game against them this past year. And it was weird, Coop, because Boston-Milwaukee was a tough matchup for Boston. Philly-Milwaukee went in Philly's favor. Boston-Philly goes in Boston's favor. So, I just the matchups don't work well for Philadelphia versus Boston. Especially an injured Embiid.
I don't think Philly is deep enough. I think they count on 2 or 3 players. Embiid for sure. Harden is one of the players they count on. You never really know what kind of game he's going to come with. I think Tobias Harris is a player that's kind of inconsistent, but if he has that big night, he can cause problems for you. The only other player I would think that are playing well for that Tyrese Maxey. That kid is going to be a handful to deal with. I wouldn't be surprised if Boston puts Brown on him because Jaylen Brown's a good defensive player. Not
he is
one of the best, but I think he has length and he has athleticism to stay with him. That kid Maxey is fast,
and athletic.
If they can get into an open court transition game, I think he can cause some problems. But again, Boston's the type of player, which I hate, a type of team, which I hate giving them kudos because, I don't really like Boston.
You do.
And I'm not a big fan of their team. I'm very, 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 very respectful of that organization and that team. But do I like them? Hell the fuck no, I hate them. And if I'm going to go even worse than Maxwell because he said if he ever saw a Laker on fire, and he had a glass of water, he wouldn't even spit on us to put us out. So you know what? Fuck you, Max. That's how I feel about that.
Gasoline you're putting on it, Coop.
But I got to go with my basketball knowledge, the Silver Fox. I don't get this gray hair for nothing. I got knowledge behind this. So I'm going to go with a championship team, a championship organization. And I think that organization, the championship atmosphere filters through those kids, and I think they understand what's going on. And I do think that they beat the Sixers. I think the X factors were going to be Boston's chemistry, home court advantage with Milwaukee being knocked out. Boston has home court advantage throughout everything. Those first 2 games will always be played in Boston, and I think their defense is really ramping up. They played, Atlanta with what's the kid?
Trae Young.
Young, a good player. I thought they corralled him. He had a hard time in the second half, but again, throughout that series, they did a good defensive job on that team. So look for, especially this team here is a little bit more half-court setish. They try to go inside, not as great as three-point shooting team. I see Boston kind of like dominating that. And you got
how many games?
Sixers have a lot of confusion over there, and I think that you can't have that kind of confusion, especially when you get deep into a second round into the playoffs. It's going to hurt you. I see Boston winning that, and I'm going to give them a little bit more credit than I want to give them. I see Boston winning that 4-2.
Yeah, that's where I am. 4-2.
Okay.
I think that's I think they win in Philadelphia.
Yeah.
Game 6. Yeah,
I was going to say 4-1, but I think Philadelphia is tough enough to get one. They'll get one for the Gipper, which is Dr. J. They'll get one.
There you go. Yeah. Hey, but that again, I go back to the coaching matchup. Doc definitely outcoaches Mazzulla.
I don't think so. I think that young kid Mazzulla is good, man. I've been watching him, and it looks like he's learning every game.
He is learning
every series. I like him. I like him. What is he, 24, 25?
34. 34.
34. Okay.
Don't make him that young.
Younger. But I like him. You can see him thinking about the game. And although he's never played at this level, sometimes watching basketball can put you in the best seat in the house as opposed to playing it, because you're outside looking in as opposed to inside trying to figure it on the outside. And he has a good feel of the game. I really like him. I don't think he's going to get out coached that much. I think when it comes down to some technical things, maybe a timeout or a challenge or something like that, Doc may win that. But look for that young man. He made some great decisions, and he's a motivator. You can see those guys want to play for him.
That's great to hear, because you're right. When you're in it, it's like a tornado. So like we as Celtics fans look at Mazzulla's every move and criticize a lot. But hearing that from a legend and, an LA guy coming from the outside in, that's reassuring. Celtics Nation will love that. I know you love to make them feel more comfortable and cushy.
Yeah, so if they happen to get to LA for a championship, then it'll be a whole nother story. But that's another show that we'll wait for in the half, okay?
I can't wait.
Switching channels, we coming out west, baby, and out west is where it's at, because I do believe the championship team will be won by West team. Let's talk about our first round hookup will be Denver and Phoenix. Your thoughts?
Man, this is a big one, because Joker needs to win, man. He could be MVP twice in a row. Now he's got to start. He's got to get at least to the conference finals. But Durant, Booker, Paul, I mean, that is tough. I'm going to go Denver. I think Denver is going to clear the way, and it's going to be Denver and LA in the Eastern or the Western Conference Finals, which clears the way for what.
Well, I'm not going to jump the horn, because I'm going. So you have Denver to win that series in what?
Yeah. That's 7 games.
7.
Yeah.
I'm taking Phoenix, and the reason I take Phoenix is because I think. Well, let's look at one X factor that the Nuggets have. They got great chemistry. Mm-hmm. I think Coach Malone got those kids up there playing extremely well. The next thing they have is they have the Joker. Mm-hmm. Best player, triple doubles. It's going to be difficult to handle. How do you guard him? Do you guard him with a big Ayton? Do you guard him with a small Durant? You guard him with somebody like that. Either way, he's going to find out how to score and get things done. And last but not least, which is their biggest weapon, is the altitude. Mm-hmm. It is.
I knew that was coming.
Man up there, man. It is. I'm telling you, when Dan Issel and Alex English and Calvin Nat, them guys got up there, man. All they did is turn into a track meet. And I used to love playing at Denver, because I knew I was going to play a lot. I knew it was going to be
oxygen.
I knew it was going to be difficult for Kareem. I knew it was going to be difficult for any big playing up there. But the ones that played a lot was myself, Magic, Worthy, AC Green, and Byron Scott. So I knew I was going to get some minutes when I played at Denver. And if it was a series, I knew I was going to average at least 25 to 30 minutes, because them guys, all they did was run. Yeah. And I think they still hold true to that. I think with Murray, Brown, Aaron Gordon, KCP, they're a team that get up and down the floor. But I like Phoenix better, simply because Chris Paul, and again, this all lies in his hands, because
if he stays healthy.
Well, he's always healthy. Remember, he was out until the last game of the Clippers trying to win it. Then the guy posed like a But Chris Paul is still a great player, and he's one I think understands. And now I really believe this: the load is not on his shoulders. Before with the Clippers, who else was it with? With Phoenix?
New Orleans.
Last
Phoenix,
time,
right.
he always felt the load was on his shoulders. It's not on his shoulders. The load is on Durant and Booker. And you can see the way Paul plays because now he doesn't have the ball in his hands all the time out there. He'll throw it to Booker. He'll throw it to Durant and let them do their thing. And then when it comes to him, so without having all that action going on in his body, I think he will be healthy and play a good full 7-game series. I see Phoenix winning that.
And, Coop, before you go, Chris Paul has urgency behind him. I mean, he's getting to the end and he's tireless.
Yeah. And you know what? I think X factor for Phoenix is their bench isn't deep, but they get a lot of their players. That kid Craig and that kid Okogie. Them kids come and play, and they play hard. And you got to remember that Biyombo, that kid is playing well now. I think he's going to be kind of a tough matchup, him and the Joker, because the Joker is bigger, able to move more, but still you'll be able to give a little bit more than Ayton and not keep. The Joker's going to keep Ayton in foul trouble. I think the way he moves and the things he do. Biyombo, I think, you can waste 6 fouls on him and still be able to have Ayton down the stretch. Now, I think the key is going to be Ayton. If you can't guard Joker, you got to make it where the Joker can't guard you. You got to score back on that guy. So that's going to be an interesting series, a fun one. I see Phoenix winning it in 6. If it goes 7, they're not going to win. So Phoenix is going to have to take care of business.
Because of the altitude.
One time in Denver, and you have to win all your home games.
What does the altitude do to you? Does it just make you congest? Like you can't breathe? You can't catch your breath?
Well, you can't recover quick because once you call a timeout, by the time you get to the bench, they're blowing the whistle to get back out there. That's the issue with it because of high altitude, and you can't recover out on the court. Because say you go up and down, and the way the officials have been calling these games now, they've been letting these guys play. And if you looked at, there was one time Minnesota, and who just finished with Minnesota? There was a game, the Warriors game. Take that one for instance. There was a point in the last game that they just played where that game went up and down for about 2 minutes. Referees weren't calling any fouls in the game. Well, that's a lot of running. Now, if you go 2 minutes up in Denver, that's like 5 minutes up in the court where you got a timeout or a foul. These guys went up and down, go to the basket, nothing happened, come back down, Warriors shoot a 3, Sacramento get the ball run. If you get into a running game like that with Denver, it's not going to work in your favor anytime you're up there. Now, you can do that when you come down to sea level and you're down in Phoenix and stuff like that. So it's going to be an interesting series. And those are some of the things you have to think about as a team, going up there. Hey, you guys, listen now. We know that this is these guys' home court. They're up here. They got it at the free throw line. They got the number 5,650. They let you know where you are. They'll flash it on the thing. The announcer.
Do they?
At the highest sea level, they don't let you know. So that works on you mentally too. So again, you're gonna have to realize when you got a chance and they shoot and miss, sometimes you can't get the ball and get up and down the floor with them. You got to come down, walk it up, make sure you get a shot, make sure you score, and then every now and then you get in a skirmish. You can get up and down with them, but you can't do that the whole game. But as I said, I got Phoenix 4. They have to win it in 6.
4-2. Yep, they have to win it in Phoenix. In Phoenix, game 6. Goes 7, they lose.
Phoenix will have to steal one up in one of these first 2 up in Denver.
Yep.
All right. Reason why I got my Laker thing on and all that, baby, there you go, is because the next series we're going to talk about is the Lakers in Memphis. And it's over for Memphis tonight. A very good team that played extremely well. They did what they wanted to do the last game. Ja got all the fantastic, made all the moves and hyping and all that on the side. But the Lakers get ready to whoop their fucking ass real good tonight, send them packing and move on and get ready to play the winner of Sacramento Golden State. The Lakers, they're so fucking good, man. They don't really know how good they are. They're really, really good. And I see you snickering, Nick. I'm like you when you talk about the C's, but I got a little bit more bravado about my shit.
Well, understandably. Understandably. I mean, you've earned that. I mean, you're wearing an original. How many titles did that warm-up win?
5,
like
five.
All 5?
All 5.
So that's what your warm-up.
Hey, and it still fits me kind of good. This is the old.
It's so pressed.
Throwback, bababy. You know what? A friend of mine, I gave this to a guy that I used to do basketball camps with in Albuquerque. And he passed away about 4 or 5 months ago. So his son was going through his stuff, and he was, I was sending my condolences, talking to his son. His son Joey Montana was his name, and his son is named after him, Joey. So he was going through his dad's stuff. He sent me a lot of stuff. I used to give him things because he's a big Laker fan. He sent this to me. I gave him this in 1982.
That's
original warm up, and it ain't. And it still fits me. It's a little tight around the end.
It fits you, dude. And it's like, did you iron it before today?
This is an original, baby. This is an original. I can't button it up here because I choke myself if I do.
Did you press it before this show? It's so
no. The guy kept it in a plastic bag, pristine.
I mean,
so
it's pristine.
He sent it to me in a box. I was amazed. I was really. I mean, well, this is it. 82 championship. So when I put this on, the juices started flowing, and we get to talk about the Lakers. So that's what it is. So the Lakers going to whoop this team's ass, and especially since Dylan Brooks went and ran his mouth the other day. Had a horrible game. You see the game he had the other day? How you going to be a shit talker and can't back it up?
Only today. It's uncanny, man. And why would you do that? Why would you give bulletin board material? Like, you are playing. All right.
That's all he got. That is what young teams do when you don't have playoff experience. You wouldn't hear Tatum. You're not going to hear Brown. Nope. You're not going to hear people with playoff experience start talking about how bad Embiid is or anything like that. Yep. They're going to keep their mouth shut. They're going to go in and do their job. And again, sometimes the young guys, maybe he's taking a lesson after Dennis Rodman, or trying to go down as one of the best shit talkers or sugar honey iced tea talkers of this era. Don't work like that, because now in today's game, you got to put up or shut up. And you can only do that when you got you can do it when you're like Draymond Green, when you got people behind you. Even though you can't score, you got people that can score. But again, Draymond showed me wrong. We're going to get into him in a minute, but about him scoring 21 points the last game. Yeah. But Dylan Brooks poking the bear, all that. Oh, he's old. Well, you know what, dude? In the blink of an eye, you're gonna be old, and you're gonna see how it feels when one of these young guns come at you and say, "Oh, Dylan Brooks, he's old, man. Why is he wearing them braids and stuff? A 35-year-old player out there with braids? No, cut your hair down low." So that's what he's done, and that's why I'm glad the Lakers are whipping them. They'll get it done tonight. I'll be ready for the game. And I'm already suited, and I'm ready to go, baby. I got this thing's like, and it doesn't even have tarnish on it. Nick, you know how
they may call your number tonight, Coop. They may call 21 out there, man.
Still got this gold on, baby. It looks really nice. I'm impressed.
You need to wear that to crypto staple, whatever it's called now. One of these days. You know what? They'll call you into the game, dude.
If I go to the crib with this, they would laugh me out of the place. Man.
They'd put you on the Jumbotron, dude. That'd be the best. It would be on Sports Center the next day on the rundown.
And look how big the collar
is. Dude, that is classic. Classic. I mean, it is impressive, though. You think the Lakers were out of it, man. And you said it even. I mean, I give you the credit because you said it way back. You said it before the start of the season, and I laughed at you. Lakers going to win the champ. Okay. Then you said it when they were playing their worst. You said it. They're still going to come back. They're gonna be fine, right? And here we are. And Memphis, up and coming team. Every year it seems like, and every year they fall apart. They're just too young and don't have any kind of veteran guidance there, I think, and that really hurts them. And LA. Well, they showed it 3-1, baby. I was like, yeah, Lakers. Well, I really want you guys to win.
Listen, I am with you on Memphis being young. I think where their season ended when Job posted that and got kicked out those games.
Absolutely.
You are a leader on your team. You don't get caught and put in those positions. And I think that broke down their chemistry. In a way, it's made them a little bit better because some people, Bain and some of the people that normally wouldn't get to play, got a chance to play. Coach had to redesign his offense, not redesign his offense, but his starting lineup. But again, you see what type of player Ja is, because this kid got a really, really bad hand and still putting up good numbers, but they don't have enough and their chemistry's gone. The X factor for the Lakers, I think, going this forward is that with the emergence of Reeves, who's starting to play and can shoot the basketball now, they got shooters around LeBron and AD. And people talk about, well, AD's not scoring enough. You don't have to now. All AD has to do is block, get the ball, create that double team, because you got to come down and double him or he'll score, most of the time. but they can kick it out now to shooters. So
just
again,
be in uniform. If he's in uniform, he's going to make a major impact, regardless how much.
No, Nick. In uniform, he could be in uniform sitting on the bench. His
That
ass
is
got to
true.
be out on the court.
That is true. That is true.
I know what you meant. In uniform
I
means
know
you're
what you
on the
meant.
court.
I know what
But
you
I
knew.
got to hear it verbally. I got to hear it on the court. I got to be on the court
because that's the X factor. That changes the whole series
yeah.
and your aspirations.
Well, if they get it done tonight, well, because the fact and Golden State play tonight, so you don't have one day off to get it going. But that's going to be a good series. So Lakers tonight ended at 4-2, and we're moving on. And now we move on to probably one of the most exciting, really one of the most exciting games that I've been waiting for every night is Golden State Sacramento. Yep. You know what? When the game that series first started, I said Warriors in 6. I said that. And when they lost those first 2 games, I kind of like, okay, Sacramento, because I hadn't really watched Sacramento all season. And now, but that De'Aaron Fox, Monk, former Laker, showed that they can score with anybody. Now, the reason why they're having problems, Sacramento, with the Warriors is because Harrison Barnes haven't given them shit. And again, when you reevaluate your team, and that's usually what happened at the end of the season, wherever you lose at, the general manager, the coach, president, everybody's going to get together and look and see, okay, what do we need to do? And unfortunately, they're going to lose this series, Sacramento, because I think the Warriors finishes them off tonight. And if they lose this series, then what changes do you think management will make with that team?
Sacramento?
Yeah.
I honestly, I don't know. I mean, is it a
do you care?
loser? I don't care. Is it a first of all, as you know, Sacramento is basketball purgatory. It's like the Clippers. You know what I'm saying? So worse now. And Sacramento has already succeeded this season. They've already exceeded expectations, and they've really taken the champs to the brink. So it's a winter year. I bring them back. I mean, add a piece or two. The question is, if the Warriors lose, are they going to run everybody back again? Or are they going to make changes?
If the Warriors lose, they're going to bust that team up.
Okay.
I don't think you'll see Draymond Green there. I think you see Poole's role increase even more. Maybe, and this is just me looking at it and kind of hearing things on the side like that, maybe Thompson may not be there next year. But you can't dismantle that team all the way because Curry is still there. And you got to still give him some hope. You can't bring in a lot of young kids that can't play, because then his 30 or 35 he give you every night is not going to be close to them winning. But I do think Draymond Green may exit, but if I'm the GM, I'm going to look at it real close, because that team is real fragile now. You take one player out of there, that it's like, what's the game, Jenga you play?
Jenga.
Wrong block out, that whole thing will fall. And I think you have to really, really look at that and see. I think another one of their issues was Wiggins. Had he not missed as many games as they did, they probably would have finished higher. But again, I think the basketball guys always put you where you're supposed to be. And I think this was the test for the Warriors, because I don't think they would have beat anybody else. They could, this is the type of team they needed to play. A team that's not too physical, a team like them that want to get up and down the floor, to get them battle tested. And if they win this, I think they're going to give the Lakers all they can handle. I think our size with the Lakers is going to be too much for them. But it's a series I really look forward to. It's been very entertaining, and I've had a lot of fun with this one.
The Warriors were the last time LeBron, or he was in the play-in, the Lakers were in the play-in, the Warriors beat them, didn't they? Yeah, was that last year? Yeah. Yep. So, there's going to be some, and LeBron and Curry and that whole crew they have history. And so that will be a very exciting series, but I might have to change listen, I can't count the Warriors out at any time. I see what they did last year, and every year it seems like. So if they win, all bets are off in the Western Conference. I want to restructure everything, because I think they beat the Lakers.
Fuck it, Nate. Fuck you, Nick. Anyway, yeah,
So you think
okay.
it goes 7 or 6 against Golden
The
State?
Lakers and Warriors.
Yeah.
I think it goes. I think it goes 6 or 7. I think our size will take over. But before we jump too far, I'd like to get my X factors on why Golden State is in the position they're in because of their hustle, their championship heart, and believe it or not, they are being more physical than this Sacramento team, and I think that's going to pay dividends. And Steve Kerr, unlike the other guy in Miami, I think Kerr is about to move himself up into the top 10. So that's another coach currently, again, with a good team.
So that's a whole nother episode. I was going to ask you who you're bouncing out of our top 10 that we just did, but that's a whole nother episode. Don't even.
Okay, we'll do that.
We'll wait on that.
Next one, we'll talk about
coaches.
And I'm going to go through my list, and I'm going to have them all defined. And actually, I'm going to have them numbered. We'll go to top. Let's go top 20.
I think that's
no.
I'll have mine
top
too.
15, Nick. Top 15.
Top 15 next episode. We'll do a quick segment on that, and I'll have mine written down too.
And then Sacramento, I think youth is playing against them. One thing I was talking about, I was Norm Nixon the other day. I was talking about playoff basketball versus regular season basketball. And as a Laker, we used to talk about that magic eye. We would all be sitting around or be at practice, and we go, you know what? When you play regular season, you're trying to establish your game. You're trying to establish your identity, who you are, what you want to do. But when you get into the playoffs, you can't totally go away from that. But playoff basketball is different. And every round you advance, you have to play a little bit different. And I think that's where Sacramento is losing their focus, because when you got a team on the ropes and they're coming back on somebody in regular season basketball, you can hoist up a three at home because you want to get the crowd going. Playoff basketball, you can't come down and take that same shot because you got to make sure that's a shot that not necessarily that you haven't taken, but it's a shot that you got that the team has developed for you. I always say, take the best shot for the team and not your shot. And in playoff basketball, if I'm coming down and regularly shooting and my percentage is low as far as a three, well, when I get into playoff basketball, I got to think, okay, my percentages aren't down. So this shot here, although I might be just open for a second, may not be the best shot for the team. So I'm not going to take that shot, or let me throw it inside the worthy. Who's got better percentage and who's going. So that's what people don't realize as far as Sacramento teams, young teams, that Memphis, they play regular season basketball in the playoffs. And if you look at a great example is Boston. They play playoff basketball now. They played a certain way in the regular season, but now they play differently, okay? Smart looks to throw the ball inside a little bit more, but he had it going last night. So now playoff basketball, okay, I'm hitting my shot and it's going down. So people understand that concept of NBA basketball or championship basketball. And I think Sacramento is playing regular season basketball where the Warriors are playing playoff basketball, and that's why they're up 3-2.
Coop, it's like your made shots are hit harder and missed shots, the ramifications are way worse in the playoffs.
Yep.
And you just affirmed it, so I don't have to say anything else. Yeah.
Well, playoff basketball is about putting the ball in the basket, whether it's from 3 or 2. And I think the Sacramento is just going on the energy of, okay, this is what we do, shoot 3. No, the key is to keep scoring. And if you got a chance for a layup, you go get a layup. But these guys here, they have a fast break, and these guys flare out and go to the 3-point. No, go to the basket, score. Because the key is to keep scoring. So that, to me, is the difference of why Golden State is ahead. And I think they win that series, and they get ready for the Lakers. Nick.
We just went around the whole league, bro. Yeah. Every part of the bracket.
And we got more for you. My last little topic that I would like to talk about real quickly is on a sad note. And, we lost an icon just the other day in Jerry Springer.
I was going to ask, Jerry Springer? Is that where we're going? I mean, God rest his soul.
God rest his soul. But you know what? God has got a great guy to come up there and start a whole new Springer episode. Won't be any nudity. It won't be any of that. But he'll have smut TV up there at the highest level that you can have it on a heavenly level. But Jerry Springer, I love that guy, man. That was my favorite show. I have 78 episodes of Jerry Springer, and I'm not, my wife keeps telling me, you got to delete this. I'm not deleting shit now, man. Jerry Springer, Nick, you know what? If I wasn't Michael Cooper, I would have went on Jerry Springer. And you know how you get your Springer beads? The people wear those things. Women get their Springer beads by flashing their breasts and stuff like that. Guys had to pull their pants down and show their ass. You know what? I would have pulled my pants down. My wife begged me not to go on that show, Nick, because had I went on that show, I was gonna let them know, hey, I'm Michael Cooper on Lakers. I gotta get a good seat, and it don't have to be up close. I want to be in the middle because when it comes down, I'm holding my hand up to get my Springer beads, and I'm gonna stand up and I'm gonna drop my pants and I'm gonna show you my ass. Man, I love Jerry Springer, and for Nick, you know what? I just kept hoping and hoping. Once he left the Springer show, I was hoping, you know what, Jerry's gonna bring it back. He's gonna bring it back. I just know he just give a couple of years off, and he's gonna come back. And you know, now with his passing, man, I'll never ever get that opportunity. But I love Jerry Springer, man. I was in tears.
What about Maury? Do you watch Maury?
Maury is not that. I don't have no relationship problems. You watch Maury? Oh no. And listen, I am not the father.
You are not the father.
No, Maury, you have to think too much about it. Jerry is just fucking
Jerry
brainless,
was
man.
fucking
You don't have to just watch, you know. And
but then he became a judge. He was a magistrate. He had a judge show.
Even funny. I didn't like.
He had a judge show.
That gave me no inspiration. The Jerry Springer show gave me inspiration to get up in the morning, and if my day was going bad, I could turn Jerry on and say, you know what, somebody else got worse problems than I do. Now let me see them slap somebody, or you know what,
rolling on the ground
with my uncle. You know.
My mother slept with my boyfriend. Oh my God,
Jerry Springer, man, and it just hurt me to my heart that he's passed. But I just want to send condolences to his family. And it is just a sad day in smut TV world or smut audience. I'm part of that audience. I'm a big man. I've watched Jerry Springer all the way back in the early '90s, man. When he had to come on at 11 o'clock at night because he could be on prime time because of his subject matter. And I would stay up. If we had a game the next day, I don't care. I'm not going to bed, man. And you know, this is when we had beta. So I had about 50 beta, the beta TV, the little things. I used to record Jerry Springer. Man, I am just so.
No, the beta VCR. It was the one real VCR. And you were made if you had that, Coop. Like nobody wanted VHS. You wanted beta first.
Yeah, the little ones. And you know what? I'm just very sad about him.
My condolences.
And he himself, he would laugh at some of his interviews because the other day they were showing some of his interviews, and he'd go, you know what? I laughed because what I brought to the people was stupid. It was no nonsense. And, you know, he says, I made a lot of money. Well, yeah, you're supposed to, but you know what? He got my money. If he was a reverend, I'd have sent out he could have got me every single night with something new. I'd have sent him $100 every week, $100. He'd have made millions off of me. But Jerry Springer TV show, man, was one of the best, and it is no longer the real Jerry around. We wish his family the best, man. Jerry, rest in peace, man, because you deserve it. You did a lot down here. You created some havoc, so you get to rest now, man. You can rest, and hopefully it's in peace. But
this is an epic send-off. An epic send-off.
I'm sorry I had to make you laugh. I know your mouth is hurting and stuff, but I still, I had to mention Jerry Springer, but. There you go. Hey, we're back. I'm back now. We're coming back. We're taking a hiatus a little bit. Nick, you've been airing a whole lot of old episodes. We got some new people coming up. You guys stay tuned because this is about to get
subscribe.
It's going to get Jerry Springerish, but it's going to get Cooper Showtime-ish. And we're going to be a A lot of new guests, and we got some new topics coming up. Everything is always happening. The NBA, we're headed for a Laker Celtic showdown. Let's hope that it ends that way, because if it do, I may have to put on my Daisy Dukes, and I'm gonna put on the whole outfit to this.
And we're flying you out to Boston.
It's about 5.
We're flying you out to Boston, Coop. They'll put you on the Jumbotron in that outfit.
I'll be Jack Nicholson when he stood up and he mooned the fans at Boston at the Boston Garden. I'll go up with this here. My outfit is really, really tight now, so it'll really, Daisy Dukes is not it. It's almost a thong on me now, man.
We'll put you up in the balcony right on the Jumbotron, man. They will go crazy. Beat LA.
There you have it. Nick, great show, man. We'll
Good
talk
stuff,
to you
Coop.
next week with a new guest.
See you next
All right.
Friday. See you,
out
Coop.
here. Laker
Later.
Baby.
CLNS History is brought to you by FanDuel, the exclusive wagering partner of the CLNS Media Network.